So welcome to my kitchen. This is Cooking Today. Hi, welcome to Cooking Today. I'm glad you're here. Today I'm making this delicious little sandwich. You know, we've kind of lightened up a little bit because it's summertime and, you know, just heavy food just doesn't sound very good. And so this is one of my favorite recipes that I make for my family. You know, my daughter went to college and now I'm a house full of boys. I'm outnumbered. And they sure love a warm sandwich, and especially ones that are like loaded with meat and cheese. You know, they're boys. And so they want something nice and hearty. And that's what this is. We're doing these delicious, kind of like a baked, I don't know if y'all made this, but like our little baked tiny sliders that we did had a little bit of roast beef on them and provolone. But these are big boy hoagies that we're going to bake in the oven. And it's kind of like French dip. We're going to make this delicious flavored au jus, which is just juice to dunk these in. Again, boys, they love it. And so I kind of reluctantly made these one time, and they didn't sound all that great to me, but Sam was asking for them. And I, you know, love him. So I made a little recipe for them, and we all really liked them. I really liked them, and so that's why I'm going to share them with you. One of my favorite reasons that I like these little sandwiches is because they're pretty easy to make. I mean, store-bought bread, you know, a little deli meat. We're just putting a little bit of elbow grease into this little juice, but they're super easy, and I have found that I make them a lot after church on Sundays. You know, when you kind of want to have something on the table, but you don't have a ton of time to do it. These are little, good, quick, satisfying sandwiches. Let me tell you, I have got a little saucepan preheated over just kind of like a medium low or so, and we are going to start our au jus. Just a little savory dipping liquid for these yummy baked sandwiches. And so what I've got in there is just one shallot, and it wasn't a very big one. I might actually be tempted to do another one, but you can put as much or as little in there as you would like. And so I'm going to give it a little swirl, some olive oil, and then I'm going to kind of keep my ear on it. I don't want them to get crispy. I just want them to be kind of tender in that little pan. So I'm going to kind of keep my ear on them. And then I have one clove of garlic. You know, I sing this song all the time around here. You don't want to put it in at the same time because that garlic will burn. And garlic really only has to saute for just a minute or so until it is ready to go. You really just want to do it while it's kind of fragrant, and then get some liquid on it. So if you haven't learned more than anything, you know, one thing on this show, you've learned that. Isn't that the truth? And all good things, as we know, start with onions and garlic. And maybe bacon. We'll put bacon in parentheses, won't we? Okay, I'm just doing a little tiny chop on that, nothing much. Because really when it comes down to it, we're gonna, you know, when we ladle, I'm gonna wait, let me check my shallot. When we ladle this liquid into little bowls for us to dip these hot, yummy baked sandwiches in, we're not gonna really eat a bite of this, you know, garlic or this shallot. It's really in there just to kind of flavor the liquid. And so I'm not even going, you know, real precisely on my chop on my garlic right now. Okay, these are looking kind of tender because I had them pretty small, and then I'm going to throw in my garlic. And again, stir it just for a minute or so until you kind of start to really smell your garlic. And then what I have waiting in the wings when my garlic has sauteed for just a minute is a little bit of sherry. Sherry just really richens the flavor of this beef stock, and again, we're just trying to get a good, nice flavor down inside this. If you didn't want to go to all this trouble, you could just absolutely dump beef stock in a sauce pot and warm it, but you'll be missing out because this is delicious. If you don't have sherry, you can skip this altogether and just do beef stock, but still do the onions and the garlic and this little, you know, these other little few seasonings and things that I'm doing in here. But I have sherry a lot because I do all kinds of things with it. I do, you know, pan sauces and mushrooms and all kinds of stuff. So it just takes a little bit. I think that's good. That smells fantastic. So I'm going to pour in my sherry, and it's going to simmer, and that's good. You want to actually cook the alcohol out. Oh, it smells good. I'm going to turn that up just the littlest bit now that we've got liquid on our garlic. But you do want to let your sherry simmer for just, you know, a minute or so, because it cooks out the alcohol part and then just leaves that good, deep, rich flavor that we want in our sauce. Oh, these are so good. Y'all wait till you see these sandwiches when they're baked and we open these out of this foil. They are beautiful and rich and so good. And we're gonna, if I have enough time, we're gonna try to make a little slaw at the end, because you know we love slaw around here. Okay, we're simmering. So I am going to pour in a little bit of my carton of my beef stock in, and just give it a little salt and pepper and a dash of Worcestershire. Full recipe is on our website. When we come back, we're gonna start working on our sandwiches. This is Cooking Today.
Cooking Today, sponsored by West Rock Coffee Company.
Hi, we're back. Thanks for joining us today. We are making these beautiful, rich, baked French dip sandwiches piled with delicious rare roast beef. Don't let rare scare you. We're going to talk about it in a minute. And Swiss cheese, which I just love Swiss. I love that tang and I love the creaminess of it. And we're going to put a little slather of mayonnaise and horseradish on it, because you know how I feel about horseradish. A little tiny bit of something good that stings your nose. We're going to build all that in just a minute. We've got our au jus simmering on the stove that was just a little sauteed shallot with a little garlic and some sherry and beef stock. And then I just did a little, just for extra flavor, just good depth in that stock, added a little bit of Worcestershire and salt and pepper. And then just for good measure, I did a little pinch of dried thyme. Just good herby flavor in that nice, rich, savory, warm stock. So that I have got going over here. Oh my goodness. It smells so delicious, y'all. And we want that to just simmer nice and hot. And so we make that at the beginning so that it just has a lot of time to just kind of marry and just develop great taste. Then over here on my other burner, I have my big fry pan that you know I love. And I've gone ahead and parted or split these hoagie buns. I just got 4 of these hoagie buns from the bakery, good ones. I love bread. Do y'all love bread? Can you tell that I love bread? Anyway, don't answer that. I am gonna just put these, no butter or anything on them. I'm just gonna stick them on the, if you have a griddle, you could do it in a griddle, but I'm just gonna stick them over here in my pan, and I just wanna get a little bit of a toast on the bottoms. So we're just gonna do top and bottom on 2 of them and let them hang out a minute. And then, while my buns are toasting, I'm just gonna mix up a little of this sauce that I wanna put on our sandwiches. So this is about 1/3 of a cup or so. I don't really know, just kind of eyeballing it. You can measure if you'd like. Of mayonnaise, and then I'm doing a teaspoon of horseradish. If you don't want the horseradish, then don't use it. Just use mayonnaise. But what we're doing is toasting the inside of that bread a little bit so that it doesn't just turn into ultimately just a big soggy wad. We want it to be like toasty and kind of hearty so that we can spread this little bit of, you know, this little smear on there and then load it and bake it and dunk it. So we're giving our bread a little bit of girth and kind of drying it out so that it will hold this mayonnaise and then all of our goodness we're about to put on it. Okay, I'm just using my teaspoon to give that a little spin. I'm gonna set that there. And then let me check, oh, our sauce is going good. I'm gonna let those go just a little tiny bit longer. Now, let's see, I've got my sauce mixed, and let's talk about our meat. You know, I said that we were going to talk about our rare roast beef. This is, I shop at My Harps, of course, and they sell at My Harps boar's head meat. It is so delicious. You're going to pay a little bit more, but in my opinion, it is worth the splurge on good deli meat because you can get some bad deli meat. You know what I'm talking about. So at my grocery, I just ask the ladies at the counter. They are lovely and so helpful. What's the rarest roast beef that they actually have at the counter? Now they had one that was rarer than this, and I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I didn't like the flavor of it as much. So this one is London broil. You've heard about London broil or Londonport. You might hear it called that too as well. And so I get a bunch so that these sandwiches are nice and piled. Now the reason that I choose to get, oh yeah, that's a good little toast. The reason that I choose to get the beef that is rarer than already nice and cooked is because we are going to bake it, so it's going to get another little bake, and then we're going to dunk it so in this hot liquid, and it's going to even cook a little bit more. Does that make sense? So it's almost like it's going to get cooked a little bit in another phase and a little bit more in another phase. So if you were to get, oh, that's a good one. If you were to get roast beef that's already entirely cooked through, it would almost be overdone. Does that make sense? So this is what I choose. It is such pretty meat. Here, I'm just going to make that, set that right there. And whew, that side of my skillet is toasting those buns. Okay, I'm going to throw these other ones on. I'm going to stir my sauce. And then when we come back, we're going to smear these beautiful toasted pieces of bread with this yummy mayonnaise horseradish. We're going to build them and wrap them and stick them in the oven. They're so good. Wish you were here to eat lunch with us. This is Cooking Today.
Iced tea, sponsored by Lipton.
What I love most about the farmers market is the music, the art, the food, the people themselves. That's local, that's Fayetteville.
Local means homegrown.
My kids can run around, I can choose what she wants to get and eat.
I like growing and selling directly to the public.
The market is kind of what community ought to be.
Visit us Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday on the square.
The Fayetteville Farmers Market.
100% local.
And love.
Hi, welcome back. We are making baked French dip sandwiches. Our wonderfully rich flavored au jus is simmering on the stove, and I have toasted our bread, and we're just going to build two right now just so that you can see how delicious they are and easy, and we're going to stick them in the oven. I have our toasted hoagie buns, and I did my little smear of mayonnaise with a little bit of horseradish in it. And I am going to just, generally, I would do top and bottom. Well, why would I say generally? Let's just do it. How about that? Living on the edge, right? You cannot have enough mayonnaise in your life. That's another t-shirt. I just come up with t-shirt slogans all the time on here, don't I? That one is a good one. You cannot have enough mayonnaise in your life. Okay? So we're gonna smear it on the bottom and smear it on the top. And see how nice it is that we have that crust on that bread? It almost creates like a little shield, like a barrier, so that when they toast and then we dunk, it, kind of protects them a little bit. Okie doke. Now, this is the fun part. I'm gonna set these, let's see, I gotta get my little station set here. Okay. We have our au jus going. So what I'm going to do is take it off the stove and put it right here. Now this is kind of fun. Oh, we have our oven preheated to 375 also. It beeped earlier and I meant to tell you. So what we're going to do is look how pretty that beef is. Do you see how nice and pink it is? It's really, really pretty. We're about to, remember I said we're gonna kind of bake it, like kind of cook it 2 more times, dunk it in the juice, and then bake it in the sandwich. So watch how the color is gonna change. This is why you want the rare. We're going to actually take our beef and separate it a little bit and put it in the au jus. Oh, y'all, this smells so good. It's savory. You can smell a little bit of that thyme that I dropped down inside. Look how pretty that is. So let me tell you this too. When I have this beef cut at the store, you know, at the deli counter, I don't have it shaved entirely because otherwise shaved pieces would be way too small. But I do have them kind of cut it in like whatever is the next notch up so that we actually still have some pieces. Otherwise, if we were to just dump all shaved down into our pot and then have to fish it out, it's just a little bit hard to locate because it's not, you know, nice, good pieces. So I'm just taking my tongs and giving it a good turn. Oh my goodness. Can you see the difference, the color of the meat? Do you see how it's already changed? It's turning to turn a little bit brown. And it's just soaking up this great liquid. Okay? Here's your system. We're gonna do one right here, right in front of me so you can see. So, we're taking our toasted sandwich. Here's our bottom. Wait, is that my bottom? There's my bottom. That's a funny thing to say on TV. There's my bottom. Okay, let's go that way. Now, I like to take a piece of baby Swiss on the bottom. Whoops, there's this little piece hanging out right there. I like baby Swiss because I like the flavor. And I love that baby Swiss comes in these long pieces because look what it fits. Hoagie buns. Okay, piece of baby Swiss on the bottom. I like to let a little bit of that drip out. Oh my gosh, y'all. You would not believe how good this smells. Then, another piece of baby Swiss on top. Are y'all excited? I'm about to squeal over a sandwich. And then put my top on, my lid, and then roll it up. Pinch your sides closed and build the other one. Let's do it again. Oh my gosh. And it's hot. Like I can feel a little bit of that liquid that's kind of dripped down underneath there. It's delicious. Oh my gosh, so good, so good, so good. Where's my bottom? There's my bottom. Okay, we're gonna do it again. Let's load up with our baby Swiss. You know, this is not only fun for Sundays. Like this is so easy, y'all. As a matter of fact, sometimes I will just run to the Harp's Deli and grab this stuff on my way home from church because it's just really easy and it's all kind of right there at the front. The meat, the cheese, the buns are always generally together. It's really easy just to grab them and then just run home and make this really quick. I usually get home sooner than Sam does on a Sunday, so I usually have, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes to kind of get lunch ready. And this is an easy one. And this is not only good for Sundays, but wouldn't these be fantastic for watching Arkansas football this fall? Can we just hardly wait? I am so excited. Okay, here we go. They weigh a ton. They are gonna be outstanding. We're gonna stick them in our oven at 375 for like 15 to 20 minutes. They are gorgeous when they come out. I can't wait for you to see it. This is Cooking Today. Hi, welcome back. We are wrapping up baked French dip sandwiches today. So let me show you. So I've opened this one. I've opened both of them, but look how pretty they are. Look how everything has baked down and that cheese is like melted over the side. And oh my goodness, this one is stunning. We've already moved this one over. And I'll tell you what that oven does. The top gets kind of nice and crispy, but the bottom is almost a little bit toasted, but just a little bit good and soaked up with that liquid that we put on it. You know, when we took the beef out and put it on there, We love that bite. We love that when you want a little crisp, there's a little bite of crisp, but when you want that little bit of like good soaked bread, it's on the bottom. And so I have plated that one, and then all I do is take this leftover stock and I scoop it into some wide mouth bowls for dunking. Now I'll tell you, the sandwiches are already really good and soaky on the bottom and delicious. You could eat this, it's kind of almost like you could do like a fork and knife sandwich, you know, where you kind of have to get in there because it's all gloppy and gooey and delicious. So you want to, you know, kind of fork and knife it. If you want even more juice, dunk it in this liquid right here. That's how we did it. We fork and knifed and then took our bite and went ahead and soaked that bite one more time and ate it. It's perfection. And I made this really easy slaw. Just bought this broccoli slaw that's pre-made in the produce section, and then just did a little side of, like a little dressing of mayonnaise, sugar, vinegar, a good old classic dressing. Recipes on our website. You're gonna wanna try this at home. Love every bite. This is cooking today.
Cooking Today, sponsored by West Rock Coffee Company. Kitchenware is provided by Una Mays. Groceries provided by Harps, Hometown Fresh. Online Elements sponsored by Fayetteville Farmers Market.